Hi, I'm David Cartwright. I'm a poet from Newcastle upon Tyne in the UK. Today I'm really excited to be sharing with you Incredible Kids, a new collection of rhyming stories about amazing children and the challenges they overcome. Please like, share and comment below, and you'll also find a link to my YouTube where you can find more of the collection, and also a link to my Kickstarter. Thanks and enjoy. This poem is about a child called Lucy. Lucy sat in science class fixated on the board. Learning of the human form was something she adored. A muscle this, an artery that, just made her skin a tingle, pondering how her trillion cells could multiply and mingle. But one part of the human body Lucy found unreal, a blob which had the job to make her think and dream and feel. Making people geniuses or driving them insane was the vortex with her cortex, her favourite part, the brain. But this lesson was on chromosomes, still a gripping topic. Anatomy was always fun, even microscopic. But just as Mrs Hampton flickered on the whiteboard screen, Lucy felt her stomach start to twist like plasticine. 40 seconds later, she opened up her eyes. Mrs Hampton and her classmates were looking quite surprised. Her desk was now above her, the board in front no more. Lucy quickly realised she was sprawled out on the floor. Apparently she'd hit the deck. Apparently she'd shook. Apparently her eyes had made a Halloweeny look. Carted out of science class by Mrs Dobbs the nurse, Lucy watched her classmates as they pointed and conversed, whisked away to hospital without an explanation to try and find an answer to her convulsion causation. What would all the kids say? She'd fallen off her chair. Going back into science class she simply couldn't bear. The hospital was busy as she waited with her mum, people looking terrified and others looking glum. The doctor was a friendly man, a neck like a giraffe, whose flirty little comments made Lucy's mother laugh. Testing was required to diagnose and check. Lucy was then hooked up to all different kinds of tech. She listened in amazement as the doctor spoke to staff, explaining this, suggesting that, a blood test and a graph. Her body had, her neurons weren't, her patterns were all skewed. Although she felt self-conscious, the conversations helped her mood. In a way, this was like science class, a little more grown up. The ward was Mrs Hampton's room, professionally set up. Taking in the doctor's points, Lucy grew to learn that it was in fact her favourite part, her brain, which caused her turn. Electrical activity like a storm made things abnormal. Chatting with the nurses made Lucy feel quite formal. Yet amongst the medical jargon, a sentence stood right out, one which gave young Lucy something to really think about. The sentence Lucy clung to, which overrode the shame, was a seizure was evidence of an all-powerful brain. Who'd have thought Lucy, that in my little head there was an almighty organ which at first filled me with dread. I just hadn't realised, and I admit it gave a scare. But my fit was a reminder of my brain that it was there. Putting on a white coat that the doctor let her borrow, Lucy thought of going back into school tomorrow. Now she could return to Mrs Hampton's class again and teach all of her classmates about the wonders of her brain.